Hello everyone, this is Maria Kay, and today we're going to talk about feet. We already talked about our hands, we talked about our posture, we did a little belly dancing, we did a little cooking. So let's talk about feet. Like our hands, our feet are something we really sort of take for granted. Like our hands, our feet are very complex. They have lots of small bones and muscles in them. They're very versatile. But at the same time, they're also very vulnerable for that reason. Those little bones are very easy to break and crack. It's easy to, pull an ankle, twist an ankle, something like that. And unfortunately, as with hands, we don't really pay attention to our feet a whole lot until something goes wrong, until we damage a foot, break a foot, something like that. I usually exercise my feet daily before I even get out of bed. And the things I'm going to show you today are things that you can do while lying in bed trying to decide whether to hit the snooze button or not. The reason being because I do a lot of dance fitness. I do Zumba, I go to belly dance classes, I go to bar classes, I go to yoga classes. And so that is sort of really important. I'm very aware of what my feet are doing on a daily basis. Plus, one of my feet actually has been broken at one point. Not a fun moment in my life. I accidentally dropped a piano chair, one of those round spinny ones. I dropped it on my left foot, and I had a closed fracture in there. And it never really was treated correctly, so it never really healed properly. So I have a bump in my left foot, and I'm very aware of it when I dance, when I do any type of dance exercise. So let's talk about feet. Let's see what we can do with them. Let's see how we can help them stay good and healthy. The first thing I want you to do, before I even show you anything, is the thing that my bar and yoga instructor has us do almost during every class. And that is, as you are minding your posture, which we talked about, let's try and conscientiously lift the arches of our feet. And when you do that, you become very aware that you have a more solid foundation under you. Another exercise she has us do, and I strongly recommend that, is take a block, or if you don't have a block, I don't have a block at home, take a pillow, small little pillow, put it between your thighs and do some squats. What that makes sure of is that you can't collapse your feet and your ankle inwards as you squat, because it keeps your thighs apart. And so it's a very different experience with your feet and ankles when you can't collapse your ankles and knees toward one another. And so the more you do that, the more you develop that body discipline to make sure that your arches are lifted and your ankles are nice and straight. Let's go on to some other exercises. We're going to start by just starting to pedal our feet. And let's make sure we do this with intent. Remember, I talked to you about intent both in the bar video and in the posture video and in the belly dancing video, how important it is to have intent in your movement. Well, when you roll your feet like that, when you pedal your feet like that, make sure you press the heel down with good intent. So pretend there's something you're squishing. Maybe you are in Italy during the grape harvest season. Hopefully all the viruses are gone. And you are squishing the grapes. There you go. So that is a really good one. Let's go and rock back and forth. And the more you work on keeping your arches lifted, the more you start realizing that this is not just our feet. This involves our calf muscles too, and I can guarantee you're going to feel that. There we go. Now, this gets a little bit complicated. I actually learned the portion of it in martial arts training when working on my front kick form. So here's what I want you to do. Let's lift a foot, flex it. Now, straighten it, but don't straighten your toes. If you're having trouble with lifting your toes like that, pretend like you're standing on tiptoe. This is your tiptoe form. So, flex, stretch, and now stretch up your toes. Toes back, foot back. Out, stretch, toes up, and flex. Out, toes back, and flex. Try the other foot. Foot flexed, toes stretched, toes flexed, foot flexed. Toes up, toes out, toes up. Here you go. And again, in this one, as you do this, you're going to feel the stretch not just in your feet and ankle, you're going to feel it in your calves as well. Something else you can do to exercise your feet, also to exercise your balance, is stand in one spot and just try to lean forward a little bit and back and forward and back. And the trick there is not to fall over, obviously, but also see how far you can lean forward without pulling your heels off the floor. How much you can do this. I've been practicing this for a while. It kind of comes and goes. So sometimes I do better with this, sometimes I do not quite so well. So this is important to do on a consistent basis. Another exercise I have read about in a book for ballet dancers is called toe swapping. And it's been a while since I've done this, so let's see if I can actually do this. So toe swapping at this is where you lift your big toe, your foot is flat on the floor, you lift your big toe, and then you lift the rest of your toes. Lift your big toe, come on big toe. Yeah, I see, it's lack of practice. Lift your big toe, lift the rest of your toes. And my cat is trying to, if not photobomb, then at least provide the soundtrack. And so toe swapping is actually an exercise recommended to ballerinas as they work to get on point. So young ballerinas or beginners as they work to train their feet to stand on point. So this concludes our video about exercising our feet. I hope this was helpful. As I mentioned before, I recommend doing this daily, possibly a couple of times a day, maybe just before you get out of bed and then just before you go to sleep. These are very, very easy to do. You don't have to have a lot of room. You don't have to have any special equipment. You don't need any of that. You just need yourself and your feet. I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you again. Bye!